Hello everybody, and welcome to another lab series video from BlockChyp. Today we're going to talk about how to use BlockChyp with the Vend point of sale system. So I have a couple of things already set up for the demo. First, I have a BlockChyp terminal sitting here, and this is in the state it would come straight from us. So this has not been activated yet in factory default settings. I have a test BlockChyp merchant account ready to go, but nothing else set up for it yet. And of course, I have a Vend trial account kind of in its default state. And I've set up some payment types for BlockChyp. If I look here, I go to payment types, you can see I have 4 different payment methods set up. I have BlockChyp, BlockChyp with tip, EBT, and gift activate. And I'll talk about all of those in a bit. And a lot of merchants won't necessarily need all of these, but some might need a combination of them. So let's start with how we actually connect BlockChyp to Vend. So what you would do is here under Merchant Tools, you would see Vend integration. What you would do is you would click Connect to Vend. This would walk you through the OAuth workflow for Vend. I've already signed in, so I'll click Next. I'll click Allow Access. And now that's it, I'm all set up. Okay, now that we've connected BlockChyp to Vend, we're ready to activate a terminal. So if over here you can click Activate Terminal, and you'll see a drop down of registers from Vend and a place to enter an activation code. So if you look over here on the terminal, it says touch to activate, and this is what it will do when you first boot it up and plug it in the network. So I'll go ahead and touch the screen, and it'll take a couple of seconds, and it will generate a 6-character activation code. And I'll go ahead and enter that real quick. Then I'll select which Vend register I want to pair it with. We'll make it POS01. I'll click Activate. Now you can see the terminal in just a couple of seconds. It detects that it has been activated, and then it will restart. And what's happening here is it's under the hood, it's reinitializing, doing things like remote key injection, stuff like that. Okay, now that our terminal has been activated, we can go ahead and start running transactions in Vend. So I'm here on the Vend cell screen, and I'm going to go ahead and ring up just the test order. We'll do the simplest use case now, and then we'll kind of go through some of the other things that BlockChyp can do with Vend in a bit. So we'll start. I'll just ring up a pair of sunglasses. I'll click Pay. You can see I've got a couple of options here. BlockChyp is the simplest one. So I'll go ahead and click that. And you can see the terminal wakes up. I can go ahead and insert a test card. This one may ask me for a PIN. We'll see. Yes, it does. I'll enter a test PIN. And the transaction is approved, and it's done. So let's see what's happened underneath the hood. If I go back over to the BlockChyp here and I click on my dashboard, you can see the transaction that I just entered is there. There it is, and it shows me a couple of things. The transaction ref is essentially the payment ID inside Vend, and order ref is the sale ID. So if there's a way to track them back, and in a bit the cashier name will populate here as well, and I'll go back and show you that once we're done. But you can see all the basic stuff about the transaction is here. Let's do another transaction. We'll do a backstripe transaction this time. I'll go ahead and complete the sale, and let's do a dress this time, or a watch. I'll click Pay. I'll click BlockChyp again. And this time I'll swipe a card so that I can be sure that it's going to ask me for a signature. And I'll just kind of fake my signature there, click Done, and it's approved in Vend. Then let's look at what that looks like in the dashboard. You can see there's the transaction. You can see over here, it shows that a signature is on file. If I click Inspect, I can actually see the image of the signature. So this is how you would do sort of normal, kind of plain Jane transactions in Vend. The next thing you might want to do with Vend is be able to allow the consumer to add a tip to the transaction. And there's 2 ways to do that in Vend. You can, one of the simplest ways is to have a different payment type that automatically prompts for a tip. So I'll go ahead and click Pay here, and you can see I have a BlockChyp with tip option. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll take my test Amex card, I'll click BlockChyp with tip, and you can see before the payment screen, a little tip entry screen comes up. I'll go ahead and give the cashier a 20% tip. I'll touch that. Now I'll go ahead and pay. And now it's done. So now we've been able to capture a tip. If I go over here and look in BlockChyp, you can see some tips are already starting to show up. You can see that I've got a tip for $13.98. And we synchronize the cashier name with Vend as well, but it doesn't happen instantaneously. It takes a few minutes, so we'll be able to see that in a bit. But if I click on this, you can see it's got the tip amount and all the details about the transaction here and ready to go. And you can see the synchronization process I talked about earlier. So this is the first transaction we ran with Vend. And now you can see that my name, the cashier name, has showed up in Vend. And in a bit, that will happen for our most recent transaction, which would allow us to aggregate tips. Let's look at another way to do tips. Let's assume that like this process. Let me get rid of this here and bring up another order. So this process where you have BlockChyp with tip and BlockChyp without tip, this is for situations where maybe sometimes the transaction would be tippable and sometimes it wouldn't be. But if you're in a business where it's always tippable, you don't need the two buttons. What you could do is you could go over here to Merchant Profile, Terminal Settings, and you can click Prompt for Tips. The terminal within a few seconds should pick up new settings. And what this will do is it'll automatically go to that prompt for tip screen every time without you needing to specify it. So let's do one like that. I'll pick a different test card. Now I'll just click BlockChyp, and you can see now it goes straight to the tip screen. Let me touch it here. And let's go ahead and put a card in. And we're all done. So now that transaction has been added to the, a tip has been added to that transaction. Let's take a look at our history here. You can see it start to come together. We've got this transaction, has the order ref, it has the tip amount, everything is there. Okay. Let's look at the next method of payment that we can do with Vend. Let's talk about EBT. So EBT is pretty simple. What you would do is we'll go ahead and put in an item that's obviously not EBT eligible, but for the purposes of demonstration, we'll just assume that we're going to buy these sunglasses. If I click Pay, I have the EBT button here, and I've got my EBT test card. So I'll click EBT. The terminal will wake up, and now you'll see that it's much, much simpler. You don't have the card brand logos, you don't have the NFC and the chip logos, just a card swipe. So I'll go ahead and swipe the card. You'll notice PIN bypass is not enabled. There is no PIN bypass button. I'll go ahead and enter a PIN here. And now you can see it's an EBT transaction, so it's been posted. So that's all EBT is. Over here in BlockChyp, you can see that it's been added as EBT. The EBT logo is here. And while we were waiting, the tip synchronization happened, and now you can see that these are the tips that are owed to me at the end of the night from the tip process. So this usually will lag transactions by maybe 5 minutes. It kind of depends. It's all based, transactions don't show up in the Vend sales history immediately. It takes a couple minutes sometimes. And so that's really the only limitation here. So now we can do EBT. It's just that simple. Let's talk about the gift card system. BlockChyp has its own embedded gift card system, although we can import third-party gift cards. But let's take a look at just basic gift card activation. So let's do a gift card transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and add a gift card to this order. And we'll go ahead and click Pay. And just until we do a little bit more work on this, the right process is to activate the gift card first before collecting payment. Otherwise, the transaction will be closed out and you can't get back to the screen. So when you're ready to activate a gift card, just click Gift Activate. Confirm the amount. In this case, it's going to be 25. I'm going to take one of our test blockchain gift cards. Click that right there, and I'm going to go ahead and swipe it. And now it has activated the gift card. Let's look at what's happened, and then we'll go ahead and collect payment for this. So I'll click, let me go ahead and disable the tip system. We don't want to collect a tip on this, so I'll disable that real quick. Okay, now I'll click BlockChyp. And I'll pay with a test card. We'll do this one. And it's approved. So now the transaction is all done. We sold a gift card and activated it. Let's look at what happens after gift card activation in BlockChyp. So if I go back to our dashboard, you can see there is if I go in here and I look at view all transactions in the current batch, you can see I've got a gift card activation transaction. That's all well and good. I also have a gift card screen here where I can look at what my current outstanding liabilities are. I can look at the details of a gift card. If I click on this, I can see all the transactions. Right now, just the activation. And then for those of you who are interested in the blockchain side of things, you do have the ability to look at the blockchain directly. The technology that we use for our gift cards is quite different than what you're used to. Our gift cards do have numbers printed on the front, as you can see, but these don't have a whole lot to do with the real mechanisms used to authorize the cards. They're just a convenient and familiar way to check the balance. That's really all they're used for. And they also allow our gift cards to be exported if we need to export a liability record to someone else in formats that they might be used to. So let's do a gift card redemption. Let's try to spend some of the money on this gift card. So I'll go back to my favorite item, My Girl Sunglasses. I'll click Pay. I'll click BlockChyp. There is no special button that you have to use to redeem a gift card. That's only for activating them. So I'll go ahead and click BlockChyp. The terminal will wake up. I will swipe the gift card. And you can see I get a partial approval message back for $25. And then over here on Vend, I see the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. And then I'll pay with a different method of payment to finish up the order. Okay, so I'll go ahead and swipe a MaxStripe card this time. And I'm done. Okay, now we're going to see what happens if we try to work with third-party gift cards. You can import, if you have a liability report from a third-party gift card vendor, you can import that into BlockChyp, and we've gone ahead and done that with a few cards, just for demo purposes. If I click here in gift cards, you can see now I've got 4 new gift cards in here. The one I'm going to focus on is from a coffee shop called The Local. They're friends of mine. And this is a Square gift card, as you can see. So there's the Square logo on it. So I'm going to go ahead and run a transaction with this card, and we'll see if it works. So I'll bring up an order. This time we'll make it a watch. How about a gold watch? That's $198.90. That's well above what we have left on this gift card. So we'll expect this to be a partial off. So I'll go ahead and click Pay. When you use a third-party gift card, no special instructions, no special buttons, just click BlockChyp. Terminal wakes up, I swipe the card. It will figure out that it's a third-party card, and I've gotten the partial approval message for $80.10. And I get the standard partial approval workflow here in Vend. I'll go ahead and click Continue. I'll enter another tender method for the rest of the transaction. Let's make this, we'll do an EMV, a contactless EMV MasterCard for this one. And let's fake out a signature, and we're done. That's it. So let's review what BlockChyp does for Vend. Some of which is new and some of which isn't. The best way to look at it is to look at the options that are available with a sale. So this is with all the things that BlockChyp can do with Vend turned on. With Vend, you can do normal payment transactions. That includes gift card redemptions, both on the BlockChyp network and third party. You can prompt for tips for any kind of business where there needs to be a tip presented at the point of sale. You can make this tip functionality automatic, where it happens for every transaction, or you can set it up like we have here, where maybe it's an option, like the cashier might decide to press this button, and this would present the tip prompt before the standard payment screen, or we can go straight to the payment screen if it's a type of transaction where a tip doesn't make any sense. You can also use BlockChyp to bring up EBT transactions with Vend, and you can also activate gift cards. And the gift card system, our internal gift card system, is based on this proprietary blockchain technology. It does not transmit the gift card number over the network, and so if the network traffic is hacked or intercepted, then the gift card hasn't been compromised. And there's other security benefits, but that's the chief one. And if you have a merchant that already has a set of gift cards out there, those can be imported into BlockChyp and used right alongside the existing gift card system. So that is the BlockChyp gift card. That is the BlockChyp Vend integration in a nutshell. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Lab Series.